Hi gang, I just want to give you a sort of a quick overview of some of my thinking about what you should be thinking about for the tablet projects. Let's take the rabble one for example. This is a good example because there's going to be a fair bit of different media types. So you're going to have stories, obviously, that are going to be provided, and these are going to be the curated list of the best of Rabble, but you're also going to have a number of podcasts that are coming from the Rabble Podcast Network, and there's about, as I said, 38 different shows there on the RPN. Then there's Rabble TV, and these are stuff that's coming from YouTube, but there also is live stream stuff that's available to you that's over here, and then there's a lot of photographs, often on Flickr. There's a lot of Flickr pools and stuff, and quotes from Babel. Babel is the discussion forum that's part of Rabble, and quite often, not always, but quite often there's a fairly lively discussion about stuff that's actually in the articles that's in the in Babel. And now that we have those, and those have been going on since the stories have been published, we need to think about what to do with those. So all of this stuff has to feed into the iBook Author tool, so it's going to end up to be an experience on the iPad. But there's lots of questions to be asked. Do we want to use all of these stories? Just because they're going to be part of the print book doesn't necessarily mean that we want to use them all. How do we want to use the podcasts? Should they be interspersed in the story? Should they be associated with stories? Should there be an area on the book that's all podcasts? Are we going to associate photographs with the podcasts and do them as MOV files or M4V files and just have them as playable? What that experience is going to be like. In terms of the video, same thing. Do we want to have a section of the book that's all the video, or do you want to embed them throughout other stories? Photographs, even more choice there. Do we want to take these photographs and turn them into a slideshow on the book so that you have the one big picture and then the other ones that you can click on underneath, or do we want to present those in some other way? You could make them into a sound slide, for example, and present the best of that way. And then there's a question of extras. So in all of these stories, there might be opportunities for infographics, and those infographics could be done in Keynote, or they could be done as a slideshow, or they could be done as a video, or all sorts of things, or we may not want to do that at all. So those are some of the questions that you need to think through, but right now what you need to figure out once we get word from Rabble and the Tyee about where they're going is make sure you have a solid inventory of all the raw material that you're going to work with, and I suggest you set up a Google Doc to track all those pieces so that you know exactly what you've got and how you're going to deal with them, and then you can start making some tough choices about them once you have that inventory and audit of all the pieces and figure out what you need to do. So that's sort of the first thinking I think you need to sort of get your head around as we consider that project. Okay, talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Made with Doodlecast Pro.